I got some advice for you. When you're trying to start a business, you really got to go after it. Because it's not just something that's just, you're not just going to stumble into starting a business. That's not the way it works. If you stumble into it, you're going to fall, guaranteed. And it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to work out for you. When you're ready to, you know, dive head first, not feet first, head first. That's what it comes down to. Like, if you go back to my videos from when I was getting ready to start my business to when I got fired and how I started my business, if you just go back and watch my attitude about starting a business versus, you know, how I started, since day one, I've been, you know, I was like, yeah, let's go for this. And then, you know, I was, you know, like saying, this is going to work, you know. And then when I got fired, I'm like, there's no other choice. There's no other choice. We're going into this no matter what. I would rather die than fail. What's up, Joey? Pretty soon I'm going through Shelton, the town of Shelton, and then I'll be heading out towards Bremerton. I might lose some reception, so I'm going to try and get the message out there before things go haywire. But when you're trying to start your business, you can't just do it halfway. What's up, Fleckler? How are you doing? One second here. What are you doing? What am I doing today? Oh, I'm just, I'm going to be hauling pea gravel all day. You know, and if you kind of watch my whole YouTube channel ever since I started it, like if you guys go back, like even before the very first dump truck video, if you go back and watch some of the videos I did, they were just kind of like, oh, look at this, you know, I'm not really doing anything, but this is kind of what I'm doing right now. You know, it's just, you know, just fooling around type stuff, you know. And my YouTube never took off. And then I bought the dump truck, stuff still really didn't take off that much. Stuff didn't really start to take off until people seen that I was serious, that I was going into this no matter what. That's when people started to take notice. You know, people don't notice people that are halfway doing something. You know, if you're halfway doing it, then nobody cares. If you go head first, that's the stuff people want to see. You know, when they're doing the Olympics, they don't do a cannonball competition. Everybody can do a cannonball. Not everybody can do a head dive, you know, that's 30 feet tall or whatever. I don't really watch the Olympics, but I'm just saying, figuratively speaking, there's no cannonball competition, guys. Nobody cares about the people who are jumping feet first. If you want to be on the top, you got to go head first. You got to risk it all. And that's by putting your face and your head to the grinding stone first. That's how it works. That's absolutely 100% how it works. And if you put your face and your head to that grinding stone, you're going to find out which one's harder. You know, who can last longer? You know, the grinding stone or you. That's what it comes down to. Who's gonna outlast who? You know? So, that's just my advice for today. You know, you gotta go head first. You can't go feet first when you're starting your business. I was just getting a message. I got a message from this cool guy. He was telling me how he was working part-time and he started his side hustle. He looks like he's ready to go big time. And he's got a skid steer, he's got an excavator, he's got a small dump truck, and he's getting ready to buy another big dump truck. And I said, and then he told me that he was working a full-time job, and I was thinking, dude, it's time for you to quit that job. You already know you can make it. Look at all the stuff you've got, dude. Quit that job right now and go head first into your business. You know, if you can do that, you know, if you can do that well part-time, think of how much better you can do going full-time. There's so many people out there, they just want to halfway do it. They just want to buy one truck and then try and hire somebody. Nobody's going to work for you with one truck. It never works like that. Like, if you find somebody to work for you, like, I don't even know how you did it. If you only have one truck, I don't know how you fooled them into working for you. You know, nobody wants to work for a guy with one truck who has no other employees. Hardly anybody wants to be that first employee of a company. Unless it's your buddy. That's the only time that ever works, usually. And then it normally never works out good because he either feels like he's getting the short end of the stick of the friendship or you do. And then it goes south real quick. You know? But if you got two trucks and you're working, this is how everybody does it when they go big. They're always driving because that inspires confidence in your employees. Because not only do they think, well, I'm just going out here to make this guy money, he's actually trying too. Like, I see him doing the same thing every day too. You know, he's not out on a boat fishing, you know, or doing whatever every single day. He's out here with us in the trenches, you know. So, buying a truck and hiring somebody don't work. I don't think that works. I mean, it sounds amazing in theory, but I don't ever see it working. Personally, you know. Especially when you're trying to keep your full-time job, too, because that right there tells... I know what you think it shows that you're a baller, but that's not what other people think. They think that you're not committed enough to quit your job and go into business for yourself. That's what that looks like to me. You're not committed. And that translates to a whole bunch of stuff. Like, okay, if he's not committed enough to jump into ownership himself, when I call him up, is he going to show up? Like, you don't even know. You don't even know. And then, you know, I mean, that just goes to show right there. Well, I didn't say you can't have employees, JR, but I'm just saying, you know, and it's not bad not having employees. That's amazing. You know, it's amazing to not have employees, you know, because all you got to worry about is yourself, you know. So I think not having employees is amazing, but I also think when you get the right employees, it's double amazing. Like, it is even better. Like, it is so flipping cool. Like, the two guys that are working for me, I freaking love them, you know, and I'm so happy to have them working for me and working with me. You know, number one, because they see what I'm doing. They see the moves I'm making. They see the effort I'm putting in, the sacrifice I'm making. They see that stuff. And that makes them want to work hard too, you know. And then the harder they work, the more they get paid, you know, the more I get paid, we all win. It's a win-win-win. We even went fishing. All three of us went fishing with my son a few days back. Probably a week ago now, a week or two ago. We all went fishing. We were slaying the bass. We were slaying them. We reeled in we reeled in like 18, but we only kept like 15 between the four of us. Me, my son, and my two drivers. They just plowed that. You know, you can definitely be friendly and be friends with employees. People that say that are stupid. If you can't be friends with your employees, don't go into business with them. You know, if you can't hire somebody you can't be a friend with, I mean, there is a distinguishable line between being friends and being a boss. But there is a line there that you got to maintain. There is a boundary where, you know, being friends starts to turn into being lazy and joking off all the time. There is a fine line there. And you as the boss, you have to maintain that boundary. But between when they're screwing around too much and where the friendship ends. Like, you gotta, there is a line there that you have to maintain. You know, you gotta keep things flowing, you know, because if they're there just goofing off, then, you know, they're costing you money. And business is about making money. You know, about everyone making money. That's what business is about. It's not just about you making money, it's about everyone making money. And the guy that realizes that it's about everyone making money and not just himself, that business is going to go a lot further. Number one reason why it's important your employees make a good pay. Because they will grow your business faster than you can. They will. They will be able to find better employees way faster than you. You know, because then you got two guys looking for an employee instead of just yourself. You know, they will weed out the bad ones because they don't want to work with idiots. For number one, they don't want to work with an idiot. You know? Number two, usually if you have a good employee, they hang around other good employees. That you know, birds of a feather flock together. You know, what that means is if you're a good person and you're a hard worker, your friends are probably good people and hard workers. That's just the way it goes. If you're a loser and a tweaker and a druggie, that's who your friends usually are. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You know? So, I know a lot of people, sometimes it's hard finding employees as a business owner, but honestly, I can say for myself, personally, the first employee I had, it didn't work out, and it was an epic failure. The second one, amazing, best decision I ever made in my life. You know, not the best, but, you know, one of the best business decisions I ever made, because I hired him, he's working out great, then we hired his brother, working out amazing, and we're this close to possibly hiring their friend, so that'll be 3 drivers and me, and I haven't interviewed him yet. Here's the main reason why I haven't taken the leap to having a third employee. The third employee would be driving this truck, right? Now it's a Detroit. So the third driver would be driving this one. And here's my thoughts. I know for a fact this truck does not work during the winter. It just does not work. And in order for me to hire a third person, they have to know, I have to tell them, look man, there's no work for that truck in the winter. So here's the two options we got, right? I don't offer health care. For one, I don't believe in it myself, and for two, it's a flippin' ripoff. And for three, a lot of guys don't need it because their wives have health insurance that they can be on. You know, their wives have a daily job and they can hop on their insurance. You know, and as a small business owner, it doesn't make sense for me to provide that yet. You know, the state doesn't force me to provide it, and I don't think it's wise to have health insurance. I think it's a ripoff. I think if you saved the amount of money that you're paying into health insurance, you know, by the age of 30, you'd have like a few $100,000 in the bank, you know, if you invested it properly. You could easily cover any medical procedure that you would most likely have, except for the rare instances of the guys that have, you know, like, I don't know, some sort of health condition that's, you know, that happens to them all the time, you know, or if they're prone to getting hurt. It makes sense for those guys, but for guys like me, I never get hurt, I never get sick, I just work, you know, that's just who I am. And even if I do get sick, I don't quit working, I just keep working, because you're going to be miserable when you're sick, you're going to be miserable when you're working. There's no difference. The only difference is, one, you're making money, one, you're not. So, anyways, so I lost my track. Where was I going with that whole thing? I was talking about, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so back to hiring a third driver. I gotta tell them, you know, hey man, if I hire you, you gotta know that there's only two options. There's really three options. One, it's only a summer job, so I hire you for the summer and then I lay you off in the winter. That's option number one. Option number two is I talk with the other two drivers, and when wintertime rolls around, we do a rotating schedule, because I got two super dumps. They're probably going to work all winter long. So the option is everybody communicatively gets together and we say, hey man, you know, this week's looking a little tight. It's time to rotate this guy in. You take a day or two off so he can grab some hours, and you rotate, and everybody gets, you know, hours. Everybody might get like 35 hours, you know, or 36 hours or 40 hours. But the trick is to make sure that everybody's getting their hours and everybody can still get paid. Right? So it's a juggling game. That's option number two. Option number three is I hire you for the summer, then in the winter you get laid off and you collect unemployment, and then you come back in the summer. Those are the three options, you know, that you have to talk with all of your employees and let them know. Say, hey, these are all of the options on the table. You know? And then the other thing you have to do is you have to try really hard not to play favorites. Playing favorites can get you into trouble. Yeah, that's option number 4. That's a good option right there too. I thought about that one, but I didn't say that one. That's a good one right there, James. Option number 4 is everybody gets a salary, but it's a little bit lower, but you're guaranteed to get paid. But that one puts all of the risk on me, and it puts all of the reward on me. That's the thing about that system, you know. So what that would do is that would force me to even work even harder, because then I know, like, shoot, man, if these guys ain't working, I'm still paying them, so I better find that work, you know. But then that also is not the best for the workplace environment, because then, I'm not saying my drivers are this way, I'm just saying some drivers are this way, and they will think, oh, well, if I'm getting paid the same no matter what, then I don't need to work that many hours. They'll go in and they'll do a few loads and they'll be like, okay, yeah, the pit looks like it's closing early today, Brian, you know. I wasn't able to make it back for that last load, Brian. I'm sorry, man. And then over time, that hurts the owner. So that's one of the other options that's out there. I don't really prescribe to that option because of that reason right there. Like, they don't work as hard because they know they're getting paid a certain amount no matter what they do. So it's harder to keep that line of, you know, this is a workplace environment, I'm paying you to work, so you better work, and you better put in the time. You know, that it's a hard line to figure out, you know. When are they slacking off too much, so it's costing you money, and when are they, you know, and then you got the guys that still work hard no matter what, you know, those are the guys you really want, because those are the guys you give the bonuses to. When you're on that kind of setup, say, hey man, I know you're only getting paid this, but I know you put in, you know, a 65-hour week, here's a bonus, boom, a few $100, you know. But then also, with that type of setup, you literally gotta have a ton of money in the bank, because you know for a fact that money's coming out eventually. VAT trucking, yeah, I got paid holidays. If they work, they get paid. That's the paid holidays. You know, we got paid birthdays too. If they work, they get paid. If they don't work, they don't get paid. That's the way I feel, you know. But on the other side, I am the type of guy to give them $100 on a holiday. Say, hey man, you know, or the day before. If you know, usually there are no work holidays. I'll be honest, in dump trucking, at least in Washington, nobody ever works during the holidays because there usually is no work. I'll just say that, like, 99% of the time I've been in dump trucking, I haven't ever worked a holiday, because nobody is doing work during the holidays. So a lot of times, like, you know, before Thanksgiving or before Christmas or something, I'll give them $100, or, you know, give them a, you know, a few bucks here or there, 20, 50, $100, you know, $200 or something. Just say, hey, here you go, man. Good work. Thank you for working for me. You know, you're doing a good job. You know, and my guys are always so humble about it. They're like, oh no, man, we don't need it. We don't need it. You know, you pay us enough. And I appreciate them saying that. But I insist that they take it every time. You know. You know, if they say no, I just go, I put it on their seat in their car, you know. It's just, they earned it in my eyes, and they're going to get paid what they earn in my eyes, you know. So, having employees is amazing, I'll be honest. Yeah, that's another thing, James. You got guys chilling all winter long with you, and then when summer hits, then they're like, man, screw this guy. I can go make I can go make a third more with this company during the summer. And then you paid all that money into them and they didn't work, and you're hoping to get that back out in the summertime, and then you don't, because then they took off on you. And you can't blame them, but at the same time, in society, there's a lack of loyalty in employees and in worker relationships with employers. Sydney, in the summer, they're averaging around 60 to 65 hours a week. In the wintertime, I would say Brandon was right around 40 hours, 45 hours, 50 hours a week. There was only 2 or 3 weeks that he didn't get his 40. There was only like 2 or 3 weeks. That sounds, James, you sound like you're onto something there. You sound like you're onto something. And I love hearing your guys' input, especially you guys that have been in it for a while, you know. And so I love hearing those things like that, because I don't have to make that mistake. Sorry guys, we're going through Grapeview. The reception's probably going to get pretty embarrassing through here, so I'm probably going to end the live stream right now. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and don't forget to jump head first into business. Don't do the feet first thing. It's all about jumping head first. We do overtime after 40. After 40 hours, overtime. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to pound that like button. We got 12 people in here, 3 likes. So either we got, let's see, 12, 11, 10, 9. We got 9 haters and 3 fans, or we got, only 3 awesome fans and 11 lazy people. Don't forget to pound that like button, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you. And check out the membership. We got some member exclusive videos. I'm thinking about doing another channel for fishing with beginners. Since I'm a beginner fisherman, kind of learning the sport, learning everything, getting set up. I think I'm going to do a video, how to get set up as a basic fisherman. And I even got a cool video where I stuck my finger with the hook. So I know you guys are going to want to see that one. When I jammed that hook past the barb into my finger, tying a knot, I got a video of me digging it out, ripping it out of my finger. So I know you guys are going to want to see that video. So when I start that channel, I'll definitely give you guys a heads up, and you guys can hop over there and share some of the love over there too. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.